welcome to my channel. My name is Griffiths Amponsa, and in today's Excel activity we are going to solve this question, which is actually a 2001 WASSCE question in Ghana. It is actually a question that was solved on pen and paper, but then this is how we are going to use Excel in case we were to solve this question with our Excel worksheet. Alright, so in the question here, it says the masses of 15 eggs in grams are 42, 43, 40, 44, 39, 41, 39, 38, 40, 42, 45, 41, 39, then 40. The question says, using an assumed mean of 40 grams, calculate correct to 2 decimal places, the mean of the data, and then the standard deviation of the data. So inside our table here, this is how we solve it actually on a sheet of paper. We get our mass, our frequency, our deviation, and then our frequency by the deviation, and then the FD square. And then over here, we'll use this to populate the sum of all these occurrences. So over here, we have a list of the various numbers indicated here, which is the 42, 43, 40, and then so forth. And then here is our mean, our standard deviation. The question gave us an assumed mean, in this case, which is 40 grams. So the first thing I'll do right now is to enter my assumed mean in here. So I'll say 40 grams. Okay, so over here, we now have our assumed mean in here. And then here we have the numbers that we were given. Okay, so here, the question gave us a hint that we have 15 eggs. And by typing these things manually, it's possible that I might not type all the 15 numbers in here. So I'll use this to count if these elements, they sum to 15. So over here, I'm going to use the function, say counter. So equal to counter, hit the tab key, and then the values in here are these ones over here. Then I'll close it and press enter. And then we have our 15 in there, indicating that we have 15 eggs. Alright. So now that we are able to find out that these numbers in here are 15, we need to come to our table over here. Inside our table, we have the mass, and then the frequency, and then the rest. The question says the mean, and before we solve for the mean, we need to get the values for the table. So over here, I can't actually type these things manually. I can actually observe them and then type the numbers from the lowest, which in this case is 38, 39, then I'll come to 40, throughout to I get to the highest value. Over here, I need to arrange them in order, and then also I need to make sure that I'll get all the values over here. So I'm going to use a sort function here. So sort, and then the unique function will go through this array, or we'll go through these set of numbers and then select each of them in a unique form. So I'm going to use a unique function inside the sort function. My array is this one here. Then I need to close my unique function here, and then I can close my sort function. When I press enter, automatically you get to realize that we have 38, 39, 40, and all these numbers are found in here. Alright, so now that we have our masses, we need to work on our frequency. Inside our frequency here, we need to count the number of times the 38 occurred from the set of numbers, same as the 39, 40, 41, and then the rest. So over here, I'm going to use the countif, so equal to countif, hit the tab key, and then for my range that I need to count will be here, and then comma, my criteria will be this one in here, which is the masses over here. And then notice that it is D4, D48, and then the hashtag. The hashtag is just indicating that this selected array is selected all the array. So over here, I can close it and then press enter. Alright, so within our frequency, we have 38. The number of times 38 occurred is 1, the 39 occurred 3 times, and then same for the rest. Okay, so now back to our question, which is the deviation. We know that the assumed mean is actually 40, indicated by capital A, and then the D is what you're about to find. Our X is the mass. So over here, you are going to say equal to, which is these masses in here, then minus this assumed mean here. And we press enter, we are done. Very well. So now that we are done with our deviation, frequency, and masses, we can actually solve for the FD. So the FD is very simple, equal to our frequency here multiplying our deviation here, and then we can press enter. All right. So in a way, I want you to solve for the FD square. Notice that the FD square is actually the frequency by the deviation times the deviation one more time. Okay, so now that we are done getting the values for the mass, the frequency, deviation, FD, and then the FD square, we are supposed to find the sigma F. Notice that the EF here, E is representing my sigma, and then the F, as usual, the frequency. So sigma F, sigma FD, and then sigma FD squared. So over here, I'm going to hold Alt and press equals, and automatically it will sum this row for me. It will sum this column for me. Then here we go, we have 15. It is in reflection to this number at the same time to the 15x over here. All right, I'll select both of these cells and Alt equals. I'm going to get the same results. Okay, so now back to our main question. The question 1 says mean. The mean of the data, and we know that the formula for the mean is actually equal to sigma FD all over sigma F. So over here, our sigma FD is this one, and then our sigma F is this one. So we just need to come here equal to sigma FD all over sigma F. Just press enter. But there was a key note in here that for it to 2 decimal places, we are supposed to find the mean. So with our mean in here, our final result is supposed to be in 2 decimal places. So over here, I'm going to round it here. Then here as well, my number is the formula that I use in here, which is the sigma FD all over sigma F. The number of times I want to run when I press comma, I want to run it in 2 decimal places, so I'll press 2 over here, and then I'll close it, and then there we go. 0.87 is our mean. Okay, so now that we are done with everything, we need to find our standard deviation. Our standard deviation over here is actually given by the formula as you see on the screen here. So the first thing I'm going to do right now is we need to round it just as the question demanded. So equal to round over here, and then we are going to use the SQLT, which is the square root, and then my first one is actually the sigma FD square here divided by the sigma F over here, and then minus my sigma F here divided by my sigma FD divided by my sigma F here. I'll close it, all raising the power 2 here, and then I need to close this one here. And then in 2 decimal places, which I'll comma here, I'll press my 2 here, and then I'll close everything. I'll press enter. So our standard deviation is given 1.93, just as the question demands it. In 2001, this is how the students were supposed to solve the question during the WASSCE exams. This is one of the methods that you can use Excel to solve this question. Thank you for watching, and subscribe to the channel for more workings like this, including Python, C++, C, and many other languages. Thank you. Okay, so if you're able to solve for the FD square, congratulations. If you're not able to solve, no problem. This is how we solve it. FD square means the D occurred twice. So the first method that I will use in a way is that I will do it here. So I'll say equal to the frequency times the deviation here times the deviation one more time. Then when you press enter, we are going to get it in here. Our second method will be equal to the FD times the deviation one more time. And then when you press enter, we are going to get the same results.